Hello and good morning. Welcome back to another vlog. Today's vlog is gonna be just fully dedicated to talking about running. So if that's not your thing, totally cool to skip this one. There'll be another regular vlog later in the week. If it is your thing though, hello. Welcome. Welcome to my running world. My slow, inclusive, beginner runner, celebrating my body running space. I took up running 8 months ago. It was August of last year, and I could only run 1 minute at a time. I was a complete beginner aside from sports like way back in high school. So I hadn't tried to run in ages, and honestly, I would have laughed in your face if you would have told me that like running would be my favorite hobby in my late 20s. Definitely did not see that one coming, but it has truly just changed my life. Like, I'm obsessed. I've tried not to let it become my whole personality, but honestly, maybe the hardest part of becoming a runner for me is just not talking about running all the time. I love it, and I'm so proud of myself. I've done 5Ks, I did my first 10K. I'm signed up for an 8-miler this summer and also a half marathon coming up, but we'll talk more about that later in the video. In sharing about my running journey online, I get a lot of questions in my comments and DMs about my experience from people who are also wanting to take up running. So I thought I would just put all the answers to those things in one place, and that's what this video is gonna be. So, obvious disclaimer that I am not an expert. This is beginner to beginner, okay? Like this is, I just started, it's going well, and here's what's worked for me so far. So if you are also a runner, please feel free to chime in the comments with your opinions, your experiences. We'll make it collaborative because this is just my perspective. Okay, I'm about to start my run, but before I do, I want to just walk you through like all kind of rapid fire, like all of my gear recommendations and everything that I'm wearing, because a lot of the questions were about that. By the way, I sourced all these questions from Instagram, so if you want to be part of future videos like this, follow me on Instagram. It's at Schultzzie. Now that I'm done plugging myself, let's walk through everything. Okay, so first, my headphones. These are the Shox Open Run Pro. I believe these are the SE version because I got them at Costco. These are fantastic. Cannot recommend these enough. Oh my gosh. They fit super comfortably right around your head, and they sit right outside your ear. They're bone conduction headphones, so I can still hear everything that's going on around me, which I really like for safety. And also it's nice when I'm running with someone else that I can have like some background music on but still have a conversation. Now the shorts I'm wearing, these running shorts are like one of my holy grail products. They're high-waisted, a really fitted, stretchy ribbed material. They've got pockets on both sides. They're like the perfect length, so like zero chub rub. These are the Skechers Go Walk ribbed bike shorts. I'm gonna link everything in the description. If there's one product I was gonna recommend over everything, it would probably be these shorts. I've tried so many and just none of them even come close to the Skechers. I don't know what it is. Kind of random that they're from Skechers, but they are top tier. For headbands, I really like these wide Lululemon ones. Okay, we're switching up the angle. This is way easier. Running jackets. This one's from Walmart. I have 3 that I cycle through that I really like. This one, and then the white one that I wear a lot is from Fabletics, and the black one is Lululemon. I like finding jackets that have lots of zip pockets because if I can help it, I don't like to run with a running belt. And so between the pockets on the jacket and the shorts, I usually can stash everything that I need: phone, keys, chapstick, fuel, all the things. Okay, now shoes. Can you see the shoes? This is an easier angle for my back, but not quite so easy for modeling. The shoes, oh, that's better. I started with Hoka's, and those worked really well for me, but recently I went and got like professionally fit into running shoes at a running store, and I ended up in these Brooks Glycerin 2s, I think they are. I'm gonna put a screenshot here, but yeah, these shoes have been fantastic for me. More so than recommending a specific brand or type of shoe, I would really say go to a running store, because shoes are so like particular to each person. It's never gonna be, you know, a one size fits all. So beneath the shoe, we've got the sock. I've tried a few different brands of running socks. By far the best for me have been Bombas. My brother and my sister-in-law got me a few pairs for Christmas, and they are just unmatched. So comfortable. I feel like they reduce a lot of the friction. Haven't had any blisters. They're just really great. Okay, glasses. I got running glasses. because I was tired of sun in my eyes and bugs in my face and all that kind of stuff. Do they look ridiculous? Yes. But do they work? Also yes. And they stay in place so much better than my just like regular everyday sunglasses. And I also feel like they don't fog up as much because there have been times where I forget my running glasses and I do notice a big difference. Now that being said, these are like pretty cheap pair that I got on Amazon. The brand is Tifosi, I think. I'm kind of interested in upgrading at some point since it's something that I use so much and really does make a big difference. I've heard good things about the brand Gooder. If you've tried those, let me know because I think a sunglasses upgrade is gonna be on the horizon for me. Okay, anything else that you guys asked? Oh, my jogging stroller. Baby trend. I've got the single and now I also have the double. Cannot recommend enough, not even just for running, like every day. Amazing stroller. It's pretty inexpensive comparatively. Push is easy, handles different terrain well, the kids are comfy. I think that's everything. So I'm gonna go on my run. I'm doing 4 miles today. I've got a few questions picked out that I'm gonna answer, well, try to answer while I run. Might be a lot of huffing and puffing, so I think that I'm gonna do the majority of the Q&A post-run. But you know what? Today I'm running at my easy pace, my conversational pace, so I should be able to talk through some of these questions while I run. All right, let's go. Got my pre-run fuel. I'm having a banana today. Sometimes I'll do fruit, sometimes I'll do the Honey Stinger energy waffles or protein shake, but today, banana, and I also drank a Celsius, so I'm gonna get that caffeine kicking in. All right, I'm a half mile in, feeling good. And I realized I forgot to talk about sports bras in my little gear segment. I'm wearing the SheFit sports bra right now. And this is the best high impact option that I have right now, but I only have one. And so when it's dirty, I'll usually wear 2 of my other sports bras. But yeah, I definitely need some help in that department. So high impact sports bra recommendations, please leave them in the comments. I need it. Oh my gosh, pretty wildflowers. Everything's in bloom. I saw a few questions along the lines of like, how do you not get bored or how do you handle it mentally? Just being out here with your thoughts for so long. And honestly, that is something that took a lot of getting used to for me at first. As my runs started getting longer, I was so uncomfortable being just in my own head for extended periods of time, but you really get used to it. And I think it's also just really good for me to have this quiet time with my thoughts. I also enjoy running outdoors and having pretty scenery to look at definitely makes the time go by and just makes me enjoy the run way more. I also will try to have a few things lined up to listen to if something's not hitting. So I have a few different running playlists that I've made. I'll usually have like a video essay saved on YouTube or a podcast if I'm wanting something more conversational. The Nike guided runs are also great when I really need that extra mental push. Coach Bennett is my favorite. He has one, I believe it's called a Grateful 5K, and he's like coaching you through, talking all about gratitude and leading you through some self-reflection. It's very positive, really encouraging, and definitely helps. Another thing that helps, especially on long runs, is just breaking the run up into different segments mentally. Like, okay, my first mile is my warm-up. I'm only thinking about getting to that first mile marker, and then I'm working towards my halfway point, and I'm not thinking about like the full distance of the run, just hitting that benchmark. And I'll kind of break it up into smaller chunks, which mentally makes it a lot less daunting. All right, mile 1, 13:38. Okay, next question. What training program did I use? I started with Couch to 5K, specifically through an app called Watch to 5K, and I really liked that because it had the walk run intervals preset and would buzz on my watch when it was time to switch. So that worked out really well for me. And then I got the upgrade for that app, which was 5K to 10K. But since I was done with intervals at that point, I ended up liking Strava's interface better. And so I switched to that for tracking my runs, and that's what I use now. I also use the app Runna for planning my runs, and specifically for training for longer runs or a specific race, I really like it. Just about to pass 2 miles, 13:30 pace. All right, next question. I really want to get into running, but I don't know where to start. I would start running in super short intervals and just doing lots of walking. Like, walking is such a great place to start, and you can run for 10 seconds at a time, 30 seconds at a time. You don't have to start right out the gate with 60-minute intervals and the Couch to 5K plan. Like, just getting out and getting started is the hardest part, and any amount of running is good running, and take it slow. Mile 3, 13:27. And there we go.
4 miles.
All right, split for my final mile was 12:43. So 4 miles, average pace was 13:22. That's a really good run. I feel that those post-run endorphins just, oh, some days they just hit so good. And today is one of those days I feel like I could conquer the world after that run. I did kind of need to like lock in at the end though, just zone out, listen to my music. So now I'm ready to continue the questions. All right, the Couch to 5K app gives 30 minutes to run 5K. I run slow. What app do you use to pass 30 minutes? Okay, so Couch to 5K really should be called Couch to 30 minutes because the whole program works you up to being able to run 30 minutes nonstop, which is a huge accomplishment, especially in that shorter period of time. Couch to 5K programs usually range from anywhere from 8 weeks to 12 weeks, and it can be longer too if you need to repeat a week, build up a little bit more stamina. But I was nowhere near to running 5 kilometers in that 30 minutes. And from everything I've seen online, that is the case for the vast majority of people who do Couch to 5K. Usually a beginner runner isn't gonna be running at under 10 minutes per mile, which is what you would need for that. So don't get down on yourself. That is so normal. And getting to 30 minutes is a big accomplishment. After that, I just kept increasing the time and the distance. I really still wasn't thinking or worrying about pace at that point. Just continuing to build that stamina, that aerobic base. When I did my first 5K, I finished it in, hold on. I'm like, hold on, what did I finish it in? My very first 5K, I ran in 47 minutes and 37 seconds. So that was a 15:20 mile. This past weekend, I ran it in 35:50, so 11:32 mile. And that felt easier than my first 5K. My heart rate was lower. It felt easier on my body. I didn't have any soreness after. It takes time to build up that stamina and to increase pace. So if you're wanting to start Couch to 5K or if you're doing that program now, definitely don't be down on yourself if you're not actually running a 5K at the end of it. Just keep increasing from there. Go from 30 minutes, 32, 35, 40, and eventually you'll hit the 5K mark. Oh my gosh, this is a huge one for me. Okay, so do you really get past the not being able to run for more than 2 minutes? I recently looked back at my first Couch to 5K video, and in that video I was talking about how nervous I was from the jump from 2 minutes to 5 minutes of running intervals, and 5 minutes just felt like an eternity. I was really hesitant to make that jump, and now if I have 5 minutes left in a run, I'm like, sweet, we're practically finished. Like, it's crazy how quickly that can change, at least for me. In my body, I was really surprised by how much my body has been able to acclimate and build that stamina. And it's not just mental. It's not just like getting used to it. It does actually physically get easier. My heart rate now at my like easy conversational run pace, that's like where my average heart rate was for a brisk walk when I started this. So physically, I am actually having so much of an easier time running now. I can run in the way that I used to be able to speed walk. Like, it really truly does get easier. And the hardest runs that I've ever done were my first runs at the very beginning. Like, that was physically harder, my body was working harder, my heart rate was higher than now. Like today, setting out for a 4-mile run, that felt pretty easy and pretty standard for me. Like, it really does get easier. And in that same vein, did you notice any improvement in your resting heart rate? That has been such a huge change. I see it in my Apple Watch data, but I also feel it physically. I feel it on my runs. I feel it when I'm taking the kids on walks, and I just feel it in like my daily life too. That my physical fitness has improved so much. Looking at my data, my resting heart rate has gone down by 19 beats per minute in the last 6 months. That's wild and so cool. How to find cool and slow runner friendly races. There's a website I found that I've been using called Run Guides, and I just search from my city. I can pick the distance that I want to do, and it shows like all the different races. Now from there, go to the race website and see what the course limit is. I like to choose races that have a longer course limit, ideally at least a couple minutes buffer from my average pace. So that way, not only am I ensuring that I'm going to be able to finish the race, I also know that that's the kind of race that's going to attract more slow runners, and I'll have a good group with me in the back of the pack. When did it click and become something you loved? honestly, probably when I finished my first 5K race. I was really enjoying running throughout the Couch to 5K program. I liked it a lot. I liked the challenge. I enjoyed like having those different milestones and the slow build up each week, but I think it really clicked for me like when I crossed the finish line of that first 5K. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool and fun, and I want to do this again, and can I do more? Maybe even really after that race, once I got to the point of being able to consistently and somewhat easily run for like 45 plus minutes, I really found this just love for running and looking forward to my runs and wanting to make this a part of my life long term. And so that's when, after that, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do a 10K program. Just keep going from there. And I just love it. Favorite running influencers. I'm so glad I got this question because there are so many amazing running content creators out there who've really inspired me and are so positive, they're inclusive, they're really motivating and relatable to me at where I am on my running journey, and have been a big part of me feeling like running is for me and I am part of this community and running can be for everyone. So I'm just gonna shout a bunch of them out real quick. If you're wanting to get into running, highly recommend giving all of these people a follow. Seeing their content on my feed is really motivating for me, and they all have just such like a positive outlook on running, and they're amazing. Okay, we have May Alex on TikTok, Sierra Be Moving, Magically AJ. She does like entirely run Disney content and walk run intervals. So really fun, really cool to see. Jess Pants, love her. Tatiana Forbes, she was like the first fitness influencer that I followed that made me feel like I could do longer distances, and maybe someday I could do a half marathon. She also has a run club called Best for Last. It's based in Atlanta, but they also have like a virtual one on Strava. So cool, so inclusive. I'm so inspired by her. Tatiana, somehow this gets to you, I love you. Alyssa runs. I am Carly Anderson. It's Evelyn and Bonnie Wyrick. Those are like all of my favorite running influencers, and a lot of them kind of intersect with also motherhood and body acceptance, and also some of them with Disney. So I will link all of their pages in the description. Do you have a running partner who's faster or slower than you? Is it awkward to be on different paces? The two people that I most regularly run with are my mom and my friend Shannon, and they are both a little bit faster than me. So I like to plan the runs that I do with them to be my like more fast-paced run for the week, because I usually do one run that's more of a speed run where I'm focusing on pace. So that's where running with someone a little bit faster than me is really helpful and motivating, but I do have to push a little bit more to keep up with them versus just my like easy run pace. So I wouldn't say it's awkward because we're like similar enough that I can keep up. It's just a little bit of a push, you know? Now that being said, sometimes I do run with my brother and my sister-in-law who are significantly faster than me. Like, I'm talking like half my pace. So if we're running together, usually it's not that we're running together, we're going to the same place and they're gonna lap me, and that's totally fine too. Like, the races that we've done together, we get to enjoy being together at the start line and I'll see them at the finish line. Advice for a plus size girl who wants to start running. I would say first thing is you can do this. I definitely had kind of a mental block when I started running of, like I said, like I can't be a runner. Like, running isn't for me. I had an idea in my head of what a runner looks like, what a runner's body would be. But the reality is, like, this is a runner's body because I'm a runner. And this is my body, and you're totally capable. I did talk to my doctor first because I had some concerns about like the logistics of taking up running plus size, you know, my joints, preventing injury, that kind of stuff. And so my doctor gave me some recommendations for stretching, for, you know, doing a slow build up, not doing too much too soon, getting good running shoes. But I think my biggest block was just mental of not feeling like running was for me. So if that's what's stopping you, just know that you can do this. And that's where I do feel like following running influencers who are plus size and mid size can be really motivating and inspiring, because seeing that representation on my feed is really important. How has running changed your mindset about your physical body? Running has given me something to focus on with fitness that isn't about my appearance. And I think that's been huge for me. Like, I get to have these very specific goals that I'm working towards with distance, with pace, even like seeing the changes in my heart rate, but it's not about a number on a scale. It's not about my size. It's not at all about my body aesthetically. It's about what my body can do, and it's given me such an appreciation for that as well. Have I had any old unhealthy fitness habits resurface with running? So I have had issues in the past with restriction, weight, body image. So I want to be careful and aware and make sure that I'm in a healthy mindset. I do have bipolar disorder, which can also kind of lead to those fixations, mania. So one of the biggest things for me is I'm in therapy. So I talk about all of this with my therapist. Having a professional to help me sort through bad habits, good habits, finding those lines, hugely important for me. So I highly recommend therapy in all aspects of life. But overall, I feel like running has really influenced me in a positive way. I've been in a really good mindset about it. And specifically food-wise, like I need to be fueled to run. So when those restrictive thoughts do sneak in, I'm like, no, I need to eat because I'm running tomorrow, and if I'm underfueled, that's not gonna go well. It's also just kind of like healed some of the issues that I was having with body image, and like I said, just allowed me to connect with my body and enjoy exercise in a way that's not about my appearance. All right, last question. What's your next goal? Half marathon? Yes! I signed up for a half marathon. It is in January of next year, so a bit off, but I am signed up for it. It's happening. I'm doing it. I'm also signed up for an 8-miler this summer and the Disneyland 10K, which will be my first Run Disney race in September. Now, I'm kind of considering doing a sooner half marathon than the January one, like still doing the January one, but I don't know, I kind of feel like I might be ready to work up to that sooner, maybe in the fall sometime, and it would be really cool. I did my first ever race, my 5K, was at the end of October 2024, and it would be kind of cool to, a year after my very first race, do a half marathon. We'll see how I feel in a couple months. Right now, I'm just trying to like maintain my mileage before going into another training block. Right now, I run 3 to 4 days a week, anywhere from 2 to 6 miles per run. And I aim for around 50 miles a month. I want to just stay here for a minute, stabilize, let my body acclimate before we kick it up a notch again. But yeah, I'm signed up for a half marathon. Crazy. Bananas. I can't believe I'm doing a half marathon, but you know what? I can't believe it because I'm so capable. And it was not that long ago that I was sitting in my car going, oh, we're going up to 5-minute intervals this week. Like, I don't know if I can do that. So if I can do that and get to this point, I can absolutely do a half marathon. Yeah. 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 I'm gonna keep talking myself into it until it seems possible. But all right, that is everything that I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it answered some of your questions. If you like the running content and want more, definitely let me know down in the comments because I feel like it's kind of polarizing. You guys either love it or hate it. Personally, I love sharing about my running. Not only is it something that I find so much joy in, but it's also something that I can share about and create content about that is solely about me. You know, my time away from my kids is pretty limited, and I'm usually spending that time running. So it's kind of the best time for me to film some videos anyways. And it's just been such a positive thing in my life. It's something I really enjoy sharing about. So yeah, let me know, and I will see you guys in a few days with another vlog. Bye.